Welcome to Carly's Colorful Corner, where you will learn how to shade your wolf pup using scribbles. This is a part two piece to a previous demonstration, so your wolf pup should already be drawn. Today's class will focus specifically on the Scribbly technique. We will create shadows using a varied amount of scribbles. For darker dark spots, you're going to have several layers of scribbles on top of each other until the white starts to fade out or disappear behind the layers of ink. So let's place our darkest darks on our paper to help us get an indication of how light our filler shade will need to be in the near future. We're going to work on the pupils first, and then you can start adding these little thin dark spots underneath the wolf's chin, underneath the cheek area, and underneath the wolf's body itself to stress a contact shadow. Remember, you're using scribbles here, so put down your first layer of scribbles, and then if you don't feel it's dark enough, put down another layer until that white starts to disappear. Our wolf pup kind of has like an outline to the corner edge of the eye. So let's add in our darkest dark in there as well and have it fan out so it almost kind of appears like a triangular curved shape. This will help your eyes pop, make them look absolutely adorable, and help them stand out from the wolf's body. Here's a more finished version of the kind of eyelash or the lash line of your wolf on the upper part of your eye. If you are not ready to move on to the next step, feel free to pause this video and then push play when you are ready to begin. Let's repeat this technique around the corner and the underside of the eye, but as you get closer to the inside of the eye, thin out your lines so that way your eyes pop and they look like they're coming out from the face, and this will create a more three-dimensional shape. Let's fill in that really thin, tiny line between the shine spot in your eye and the corner of your eye. Keep your scribbly lines tight. Push them close together to create a thin but contrasted line across the eyeball of your wolf. We're going to repeat this step along the muzzle, nose, and bottom lip of your wolf. Keep your line nice and thin. Make them close together to ensure that your line is thin, but it stands out from the wolf's face. Now it is time to fill in that cute little button of a nose with some scribbly lines. Remember, we're building, so we're going to layer our scribbles on top of each other to create a dark feel to that nose, like the velvety feel that a dog or a wolf would usually have. Now it's time to add in what I call filler shade. We're going to go really light here with our scribbles, and if we need to start building our shade to a more of a medium value, then we'll add another layer of scribbles on top. Filler shade or filler is used to fill in a majority of space using the same amount of value or the same amount of shadow or darkness, so to speak. So lightly do your scribbles all around the forehead and the bridge of the nose of your wolf, and continue moving forward through the body, specifically skipping the chest area and the actual heart-shaped face area of your wolf. You want to keep these white, kind of like what I have in my Canva picture that I have developed in my own software. But use the scribblies to kind of fill in the space and give your wolf kind of a contrast in its body. I'm going to darken the edges of my ear so that way they can pop, but I'm going to make sure that my lines are very thin. So I am going to just scribble very tiny scribbles over the same area to get that line to thicken in shade or value, but I don't want the line to become too thick. So I am going to take as much care as possible to keep my squiggly super small and close together. I kind of started adding some filler here in the face because I thought, gosh, I kind of want my wolf to be like a dark gray and a light gray. If you want to keep your wolf like a gray and a white, by all means, choose to do so and skip this portion if you choose. Your art, your choice. Now, if you choose to add a little bit of filler in the heart shape of your wolf's face, then the filler that you originally applied on the forehead and in the ears, they might not be as dark as you would like them. So, to me, I don't think that the filler on my forehead is um, dark enough to create a contrast between the face and the forehead itself. So I'm going to add another layer of scribblies on top, but if you chose to do your heart shape of your face white, and you might not necessarily need to add this additional layer of scribbles. So you choose before moving forward if you want to add another layer or not. Continue to spread your filler out throughout your body. I'm working around the chest. You decide if you want the chest to stay white. Oh, excuse me. Blah. Or if you want the chest to be a different shade or variant of color. Your art, your choice. Naturally speaking, as you move down the wolf's body, your stomach, the underside of your stomach, the underside of your legs, and the underside of your paws are naturally going to be darker in shading than the rest of your body. This is specifically because you have contact shadow and you have where the chest sticks out, it casts a shadow on the underside of the belly. That's because your chest is blocking the light partially because you have a rounded rib cage. So keep this in mind as you're adding shadow. You're going to want to add another layer of scribbly within these areas to kind of make your wolf pop, stand out, and have some sort of ground to sit upon. Repeat this step to the underside of your wolf's fur tufts on the cheeks. Naturally, light is going to be above, so your shadow is going to be underneath each tuft to kind of make that fur pop out and stand out and look almost like a realistic feature. There you have it. That is how you use the Scribbly feature in a shading and drawing technique to create a wolf pup on paper using pen and ink. Keep building from the bottom up. The bottom is going to be darker, then the stomach region is going to be a little bit lighter, and then up to the shoulders it's even going to be lighter. So this will give you a three-dimensional effect for your wolf pup. Keep building from the bottom up. The bottom is going to be darker, then the stomach region is going to be a little bit lighter, and then up to the shoulders it's even going to be lighter. So this will give you a three-dimensional effect for your wolf pup. When necessary, you can rebuild or add some more value to certain areas like the edges of the ears or underneath the chest fur or the chest tuft to kind of make that tuft pop out. As you do this, you are taking into consideration what do you need to do to make certain areas pop. Usually you use darkness versus a light area. So just keep this in mind as you are building the body and making it look like a three-dimensional piece. Thank you for joining us today for part two's demonstration of how to shade a wolf pup using the Scribbly technique. For more tips and tricks, please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Carly's Colorful Corner, follow us on Facebook, or take a peek at our OUTSCHOOL platform for more in-person demonstrations. We also have a personal website that you can go to get one-on-one demonstrations via the Square platform. And in the meantime, I look forward to seeing you in the classroom.